day everyone, you're welcome to my channel Joydala Fashion Guide. Today is your first time on this channel. You are welcome. My name is Giware Joy Ighodala, G Joy for short. I hope you are doing well. I hope you're fine. In today's class, we're going to be making a simple jacket without collar, and it is beginners friendly. And I hope you will find the tutorials helpful. I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible, and it's going to have an inseam finishing. So if this is what you would like to learn on this class, then ensure to watch the video to the end, and after watching you find it helpful, then subscribe to my channel and also leave comment below in the comment section letting me know what you think about the video, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up and also share my video. So without further ado, let's go right into for this project. I'm working with this African print, this lovely Akara combination print. This is 2 yards, and then I'm going to be making use of a lining. So you will need a lining if you want yours to be lined. You need your scissors, of course you need your rulers. You need a chalk to mark what you want before cutting. Of course, we'll make use of the pins. And then you need your measuring tape. So the measurements that we are working with for this project, this is the measurements you are working with. You are working with a shoulder of 17 inches. You are working with shoulder to bust of 11 inches. Shoulder to under bust 14.5. Shoulder to waist 18 inches. Shoulder to hip is 26 inches, and then the bust circumference is 40.5. The under bust is 34 inches, the waist is 38, the hip is 46, and then the jacket length is 27 inches. Then we are going to have a 3/4 sleeve with length of 18 inches. The bicep is 14, the elbow round is 13.5, and below the elbow is 11 inches. And the armhole depth we are working with for this client is 8.25. We are working with a neck width of 3 inches. The front neck depth is 3.5. The back neck depth is 1 inch. So these are the measurements that we are working with. So you want to start by folding the fabric. Now, how do you know what to fold? You know what to fold by using the highest circumference that you have. In this case, it is the hip. So the hip circumference, if you are adding ease to, because it's a kind of a free jacket, we will need ease allowance, and then we need seam allowance. So the hip circumference here is 46. Divided by 4, that will give us 11.5. So let's just say 12 inches. And then we need 1 inch for ease, 13 inches. And then we need seam allowance. So you can use seam allowance of another 1 inch. Or if you like, you can make it 1.5. So you can use 14 inches as your block, or you use 15 inches as the block. So I'm going to be using 15 inches as the block. And also for the front pattern, I'm going to be leaving 1 inch before the starting line, so that when we put in our lining, the lining does not start at the very tip. The lining will start a little bit inside. So I'm going to fold my fabric. When marking on your fabric, please ensure to mark on the wrong side of the fabric. This is how I'm going to place my fabric to cut. I'll cut the back or fold. The back does not have a joining, so I'll cut the back or fold like this. After which I'll cut one on the front here and the second one here, so that I can have my sleeve with this other part. And the front is going to be in 2 parts, so I can cut the first one here and then the second one. That's my fabric. This part is the upper one is the back, and then this is the front. So I don't want the lining to start from the tip, so this will go inside like this, and then The lining will now start from here. So that is why I've left this 1 inch. So this is optional. And then I've ruled 1/2 inch as the starting line on top here. Then I've marked some vertical measurements: the shoulder to the bust line, shoulder to the underbust, shoulder to the waistline, and then shoulder to hip. And then you have the length of the jacket. Now the underbust, you need it when you are making a fitted blazer. If you want your jacket to be fitted, then you make use of the underbust line. If not, you will not really need it, because by the time you shape it, it will be absorbed inside. So this is the bust line, the underbust line, the waistline, this is the hip, and of course the full length of the jacket. So we are going to, the next thing now to do is to put in our shoulder measurements, the half of the shoulder. The shoulder is 17 inches, and half of that is 8.5 inch. So we'll add 1/2 inch seam allowance to that, so making it 9. And then we'll come down with a slope of 1 inch. For the neck width, if you want it, depends on if you also want it to be opened. So how to determine the neck width, I have a video on that, on how to determine neck width. So if you like, go watch it. You can use your bust circumference to determine your neck width. And of course the neck depth is according to the style of the jacket that you are making. So for this, I don't want the neckline too wide. If not, I would have used 3.5. So I'm going to be using 3, so that after sewing it will be 3.5. So I'm making use of a neck width of 3 inches. And then the neck depth for the front is 1 inch. While for the back, sorry, is 1 inch. And then for the front, I'm going to be making use of 3.5 inch. So I don't want it to hold the neck too much, so I'm using 3.5 for that. So I've extended it to the front part, so because this is the upper part here is for the back. So I'll mark the back neckline. The back neckline is a high back. So that is for the back. And then I connect the shoulder slope. So we are using the same shoulder for both of them. And then I'm going to put the shoulder allowance, the joining allowance of 1/2 inch. So that is the joining allowance for the shoulder. So for this jacket, we are not making the back to fall on the front. We'll be doing that when we are cutting a shirt. For this, we are just using the regular shoulder. So the next thing you want to mark is the armhole depth. I also have a video on formulas and calculations. If you want, some of these formulas are there, so you can, I'll be leaving the link below on this video. So if you want to watch that, I'll also link the link below for how to calculate the neck width, so you can also watch it. So this is now the chest line, and then the half of the shoulder that you measured here, you just repeat it here so that you can have a straight line. And then I'm going to get half of the armhole depth. So this is the back pattern. We're going to cut with the back pattern. Then for the front, after cutting, we'll go in by ½ inch. So we'll do that on the front pattern. And then to know the armhole length, we impute quarter of the bust circumference. That is the bust circumference divided by 4. We are dividing by 4 because we have folded our fabric. We have 4 pieces, 2 parts for the front, for the back, and then 2 parts for the front. So that is why we are dividing by 4. So the bust circumference, we share it into 4 parts. So 1 part is what we're going to write. We are going to mark here and to duplicate on all of them. And then just connect from here to here. So if you don't have a French curve, from this diagonal corner here, you put your tape, you mark 1 inch. So that will help you to curve like this. See, it has gone through the curve. So place your ruler such that the armhole will rest on the line so that it doesn't cross like this. So that is for the armhole. And if you tend to use pocket, then you can use this part that you're going to cut out to draft your pockets. So we are coming over to the chest, to the bust line. It's very, very easy. Just put in the bust circumference divided by 4. And then because it is a jacket, a free jacket, we are going to add 1 inch for ease. It's not a fitted jacket. 1 inch for ease, and then I'll add 2 inches for seam. Well, let me use 1.5 for seam. 1.5 for seam. Then you come to the underbust. If it's a, though we do not really need this, but let me just mark it. Let us see. It's going to be absorbed inside. This is the underbust, 8.5. We'll mark 1 inch for seam. And then 1.5. 1 inch for ease, then 1.5 for seam. We'll come to the waistline. We'll repeat the same thing. Quarter of the waist measurement. 1 inch for seam, for ease, and then 1.5 for seam allowance. So come to the hip line. So you put in the hip circumference so that the jacket can sit well on your hip. So to be on the safe side, you can make your seam allowance 2 inches so that if you want to make any adjustment later, you can always make your adjustments. So I will just change it to, I'll just add ½ inch more so that will be 2 inches. And then you connect that. So you see, when you connect the bust to the waist, you see that the underbust gets absorbed inside. So that is why we do not really need the underbust. But if it was a fitted shirt, then you have to mark like this, to bring out the shape. But we do not need the underbust. We don't need it. So just connect the bust to the waist and then the waist to the hip. can always blend it out. So we'll extend this line. So to this chest line, just extend it out by 3 inches. So I'm going to reconnect that to the waistline. So our waist is not straight, so you can just use your French curve to blend that out, or use your free hand. And just use your free hand like this. So the length of this is right now we have 28, but our jacket length is going to be 27. So that means the down part, we are going to be folding it in. You know, I'm going to be folding it in with about 1 inch. So the lining will start from here, so that part of the fabric will be inside. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So part of the fabric will be inside from the down on the lining, and also on the side of the front. Cut it out now, and then recut the neckline for the front and the armhole. So I'll notch where just notch where the neckline in, so that okay. So we can now complete the back neckline. So before we cut out the neckline for the front, this part will just shape it, because we don't want it that straight. So we can shape it a little, so that it will not be straight. I'm going to use 2 inches upward. And then curve it towards the middle here. I'm going to remove this now and cut the front. That is the middle of the armhole. We're going to go in by 1/2 inch. So I'm going to be using lining for this jacket, so I'll just use this to cut out the lining. So this is the back, this is for the back, and then this is the front. They have 2 pieces for the front. Then we have one piece for the back. To fold your sleeve, the bust divided by 4, then you can add 1 inch to that to know the amount of fabric to put on fold. So I have 11 inches on fold. So mark the wrong side of the fabric. So you can always check after taking your fabric if it will be enough. You can check like this. Okay. The next thing is to know the length of the sleeve. Right now the fabric that I have is 22.5. So I named them 18 inches because it's going to be 3/4 and it's stopping at 18 inches. Okay, so you add seam to that, so let's say 19. You have 19 inches, and then I want allowance to fold it in. We don't want the lining to start at the very tip. Okay, so and we need 1/2 inch allowance to join this to. We are going to join this to the main body. So instead of 18, I'm going to be marking 21 inches. So 18 plus seam allowance. So this is the part we are working with. So go ahead and mark the cap height. The cap height is bust divided by 12 plus 1 inch. So this is the cap height. So we need to put the so I'll be using 9 inches as the bicep round. So just watch how I'm going to normally the sleeve has a front side and a back side, okay, but most times I prefer to just cut both the same, and then when I'm not attaching it to the main fabric, I now reshape out the front armhole, so that way I don't have to worry, hey, which side have I cut it wrong or I've cut it well. So that is what works for me most of the time. So you can do what works for you. The elbow points, you can actually measure your clients. I use 11 inches to determine the elbow point. So this is the elbow, 11 inches. And then where the sleeve will stop, the other part will get our hemming allowance. So the round elbow is 13.5. So let's say 14, 7. You add ease allowance and then seam allowance. Then below the elbow, I have 11, which is 5.5. So I'm just going to add ease allowance, seam allowance. It's better for it to be free than it's not enough. So I'll just leave here like this. So before I cut this part, I'll fold it up like this. So the sleeve should not be, this cuff area should not be too curvy. Okay. Then notch the midpoint. So we use this to cut out the lining, and that will be all for the pattern. The lining is 1¼ inch shorter than the main fabric, or let's say 1½. So this is for the front, this is for the back. And then this is the sleeve. The sleeve is also shorter. The lining is shorter than the main fabric, as you can see. So this will fold in. We are going to sew it like an inseam. So sew the lining piece together. We join the shoulders together. We join the shoulder. We join the shoulder. And then, so this is what we have after sewing the lining. So we are going to do the same thing to the main fabric. We join the shoulders, we attach the sleeve, and then from the sleeve we join the side. The main fabric. I've added interfacing on the, I've ironed interfacing on it. So we're going to join the shoulders, right side facing each other. Match the shoulders together. Join the shoulders. Confirm the shoulder measurements. Make it 5½. The neck width is already 3 inches. Reshape the front one a little bit inside. If you already got it right at the beginning, then you don't need to do this. So go ahead and join the sleeve. To join the sleeve, open it up like this. Then you take the sleeve. You've already notched the middle. This is the right side. So you go ahead, you also iron this place down. Right side against the shoulder. You've already notched the middle of the sleeve, then you are where the shoulder matches. So if here is loose like this, you stitch it again. Then you are going to pin it down like this. And as you go, if you need to make adjustments, remember I did not cut the front and the back armhole of the sleeve, so you use the main fabric to do that. Like this. Sorry. Because it's a jacket, we'll not be using our actual bust measurements. The armhole, we're going to be using 11 inches as the armhole length instead of 10, because it's a jacket, it's free. So when cutting the sleeve, the cap should not be too deep, it should be kind of a bit flat. Trim the excess that you have. You have a little excess on the cap. So go ahead and stitch here. Do same for the other side, after which we join it together like this. We mark the armhole length, make sure that it is 11, and then you stitch the side with the seam allowance that you have left. So this cap should not be too curvy. So it should be like this. So we'll do that and show you what it looks. So far, this is the lining. And then this is the main fabric. I've joined the shoulders. And then I run a seam at the middle to give it that laser look. Just pinch it a little. Came in a little at the waistline and then come out again. So we're going to be turning this with the lining. So we are going to be placing it right side facing each other. You can notch the midpoint of this back. Mash it up with the middle of the main fabric here. But we are going to be starting from the down part, because the down is going to go in. So we'll start from the down. So match the side seams together. You need your pins. So we have a little excess here because of this, so you can go ahead and just pinch it down a little like this. Okay, so you can pinch it inside. So you match this. Match this. Okay. Then you match this to this end. So you run a stitch from here to this side. This is what we have after stitching the down, and because the down is curvy, I went ahead and notched it. So you notch the curved part. Continue. So after sewing it down like this, you pull it up to sew the neckline. So make sure that the where you have the joining, that they match. You stitch the neckline, and because it's curvy, you also notch it. After sewing the neckline, and then I notched it. So next is to join the side. So make sure you pull the side up like this. And use your pin to secure it first. So you do same for the other side. The sleeve, bring it out on the right side like this so you'll not be confused. Then put your hand inside and get the lining. Like this. Okay. So it's going to be inside like this. The lining will also be inside like this. So fold them against each other. Like this. Right side against right side. Then we bring it out from the inside. So this is how is going to be. So you continue pinning. So right side matching right side. So you can lose the side small so that you'll be able to pin it well. So you match it to the end. So you continue to the other side. Like this. Okay, then after that, complete the sides. So you match this together like this. So I now complete the same here on this side. So we'll repeat same for the other sleeve. So when you are through with the two sleeve, you are through with the sides. I'll come back to show you where to turn it out. So I finished sewing every part of the jacket. Join the sleeves together. I've also joined the side. So to turn this, just open one side of the lining. So we're going to turn everything out from here, and then after fitting, we'll close this up. So you can use hemming glue to do that for neat finishing. So you go ahead and iron it. Close it up with the hemming glue. So just put the hemming glue here and use your hot iron to seal it up. So that is all for this tutorials. I hope you find it helpful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like my video, and please subscribe to my channel. Come to the end of this tutorials. This is Joydala Fashion Guide. So here's the final look of our jackets. This is Joydala Fashion Guide. Until next time when I come your way again, bye.